Alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold. If thou didst ever thy dear father love,
God.
revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul.
I think Hamlet is about everything Shakespeare could pack in there, and says we're going to look at that huge human story through one person's perspective, one character. We're going to look at Hamlet and his view of fathers and sons and love and vengeance. Shakespeare focuses it all on that one character.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die, to
I think the
sleep.
play is a real exploration on grief and mourning, and how Hamlet comes home from school for his father's funeral and finds that very quickly everybody around him moves on.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe.
I think a lot of Hamlet's difficulty with the death of his father is that everyone seems to have recovered much more quickly than he has. And he feels isolated in that grief. He can't get past it.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh, God! God!
I think the play is more than just a psychological study of grief. Shakespeare puts us inside his head. What does it feel like to be asked to do something that is bigger than you? What is it like to have your entire life direction changed in an instant? The ghost says, I am your father and I was murdered. And Hamlet doesn't know whether to believe this.
The spirit that I have seen may be a devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me.
So he's faced with a terrible, terrible choice, but he becomes the agent of that choice. He becomes vengeance embodied, and that's a powerful thing to see in action.
Now might I do it, Pat. Now he is a-praying, and now I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven, and so am I revenged. That would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that I, his sole son, do this same villain send to heaven?
I think part of the reason that he can't kill Claudius right away is because, here's a young person filled with promise. I mean, I'm sure he's, whatever, Oppen Wittenberg, going to come back someday and run the kingdom, Part of the tape that must be playing for him when he's contemplating how to kill Claudius, when to kill Claudius, is that the moment he kills Claudius, his life is over. I mean, what's he going to do when people come and grab him and say, what have you done?
I think that making the leap to someone who can commit a murder, whether or not it's justified, is so profound for this young man. He sees it as a kind of descent into villainy and into evil. A lot of people will say that Hamlet is not a hero, that he's actually an anti-hero because he's too violent or too selfish. But I think reading him that way suggests that a hero is someone who can kill if he has to. And one of the things I really do love about Hamlet as a hero is that it's difficult for him to kill.
I think it is safe to say that it's a pretty impossible position to be in. But the miracle of the play is that somehow Hamlet manages to achieve it, to do it.
The king's to blame! The point envenomed too, then venom to thy work. Defend me, friend! Here, thou incestuous, murderous, damned Dane! Is thy pearl here?
Follow my mother.
So the question of whether Hamlet succeeds is an interesting one. Yes, he avenges his father, and in doing so loses everything that was important to him. His friends are stripped from him. His lover is taken away from him. He loses his family, his mother, his father, everyone who was close. He even loses his place in the world. But I will set the world to right. I will do the morally right thing. I will bring justice back to this world. And I will pass it on to someone who will do right by me. So he succeeds, and it costs him absolutely everything to do so.
I die, Horatio. The potent poison quite o'ercrows my spirit. I cannot live to hear the news from England, but
I do prophesy the election lights on Fortinbras.
he has my dying voice. The rest is silence.
Hamlet is heroic in a classical mold. He gives up something for other people. He sacrifices something. He's like a Greek hero who loses as much as they gain by their journey. So he's heroic, but in a way that we may not be comfortable with, but we have to face.
Good night, sweet prince. And flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.